Hey everybody, it's Craig and I'm here with another Pocketnow face-off. This one today for you Sprint lovers is Samsung Epic Touch 4G versus a Motorola Photon 4G. Alrighty, let's kick off our face-off between the Samsung Epic Touch 4G and the Motorola Photon 4G. First up, we're going to go through the specs. We're going to boot up, check available RAM on both. We're going to run the Quadrant Standard Benchmark test, Smart Bench, and Linpack Pro test. Our unofficial speed test, gaming extravaganza, browser comparison, and last but not least, after the browser comparison, I'll have a couple videos attached, one from each, showing the video capabilities on each of today's combatants. So make sure you stick around for that. Before I get started, I want to thank my good friends over at Best Buy Mobile for setting me up with the Motorola Photon 4G. If you're in need of a smartphone, make sure you stop by Best Buy Mobile and pick one up. All right, let's kick this off. Samsung Epic Touch 4G weighs in at 129 grams, definitely the lighter of the two, a little bit heavier than its brethren. Offers a 4.5-inch Super AMOLED Plus capacitive touch display, Gorilla Glass 40 by 800 resolution. Upper left-hand corner, you've got a 2-megapixel front-facing camera for video calls. Below the display, you have 4 touch-sensitive keys. You have a search key, back key, home key, and main menu key. On the back, you've got an 8-megapixel camera with autofocus, LED flash, video captures 1080p, full HD. Battery is the battery covers 1800 milliamp hour battery rated at 8 hours and 45 minutes of talk time. Taking a look around up on top, you've got a microphone along with the 3.5mm headphone jack. On the right hand side is the power and lock key. On the bottom, the other microphone, micro USB port, and on the left hand side is the volume rocker. Also on the back in the lower left hand corner is the phone speaker. All right, Motorola Photon 4G weighs in at 158 grams. Offers a 4.3-inch TFT capacitive touch display, QHD resolution of 540 by 960. Also offers Gorilla Glass. Upper right, right center, you've got a front-facing VGA camera for video calls. Below the display, again, you've got 4 touch-sensitive keys, search key, back key, home key, and main menu key. On the back, again, you've got an 8-megapixel camera, dual LED flash. Video capture is 720p. Got a 1700 milliamp hour battery rated at 9 hours and 30 minutes of talk time. And also a kickstand down here at the bottom that you can set up to control, and when you flip it on, it'll move your display into landscape, as you can see here, which is pretty slick. All right, taking a look around up on top, 3.5mm headphone jack along with the power and lock key. Got your volume rocker on the right-hand side along with the dedicated camera key. On the bottom, you have nothing, and on the left-hand side, HDMI port as well as the micro USB port. And again, on the back below the kickstand is the phone speaker. All right, let's continue on. As far as processors, Epic Touch 4G offers the 1.2 GHz Exynos dual-core processor. The Photon 4G comes with the 1 GHz NVIDIA Tegra 2 dual-core processor. Both of them offer 16 gigabytes of internal storage. Both can increase internal storage through the use of micro SD cards, an additional 32 gigabytes. Both offer 1 gigabyte of RAM. As far as Wi-Fi, the Epic Touch 4G 802.11a, B, G, and N, DLNA, and support for HDMI via a micro USB port. And on the Photon 4G 802.11b, G, and N, support for DLNA, and it has its own physical HDMI out. Bluetooth Epic Touch 4G version 3.0 with support for A2DP as well as high-speed data transfer. Photon 4G version 2.1 with support for A2DP. Both of the phones offer GPS with support for AGPS. Both can be used as Wi-Fi hotspots. Operating system on both is Android 2.3.4 Gingerbread, and the user interface on the Epic Touch 4G is Samsung's TouchWiz 4.0, and on the Photon 4G it's Motorola's Moto Blur. Let's boot up our two combatants and see what's available as far as RAM after boot on both. We'll start with the Epic Touch 4G. There we go. And let's fire up the Motorola Photon 4G. There we go. Again, both of these are available on Sprint, so take a look at this and make up your mind as to which one you want. Both of them are obviously top of the line smartphones. And the Epic Touch 4G is just about loaded. Looks pretty good. We'll go into settings. And we'll go to applications and we'll go running services. Should have down the lower right hand corner. You can see we've got 640 thereabout megabytes of free memory out of our 1 gigabyte of RAM. And we're still waiting on the Photon 4G to finish booting up. And it looks like the Epic Touch 4G settled down 640, 642 thereabouts available RAM after boot. And again, we're still waiting for the cancel there. There we go. Let's unlock it. Let's go into settings, applications, running services. Here we go down the corner, 517 megabytes of free RAM. Let's give it a second. 516, 520. So basically it looks like you've got in excess of about 100 megabytes of more RAM available after boot on the Samsung Epic Touch 4G than you do on the Motorola Photon 4G. What do you say we get a couple of our tests out of the way? Squadron Center benchmark test, and let's kick it off. Got a good clean start on both. And we have our results. And I have to say I'm a little bit surprised by the Epic Touch 4G down breaking 3,000, but it was our winner at 2868 versus the Photon at 2219. Next up, let's run the Smart Bench test on both, and we're off. Again, a good clean start. All right, and we have our results, and we have a split decision. In the CPU department, our winner is the Epic Touch 4G with a 3959 versus a 3412 on the Photon 4G. In our GPU department, the Motorola Photon 4G is our winner at 2773 versus a 2258 on the Epic Touch 4G. And last up, let's run our Linpack Pro test. We'll run the single thread. And we have a winner. It is the Epic Touch 4G Megaflops 53.808 versus the Motorola Photon 4G Megaflops 43.191. Time for our unofficial speed test. I've downloaded Advanced Task Killer on both. Let's go in and kill all of the background tasks. Back to the home screen, and we'll kick this off with the calendar. That looked to be the Epic Touch 4G. Let's try maps. And that looked to be the Epic Touch 4G. Let's go try camera on both. I think that was definitely the Epic Touch 4G. Certainly appeared to be that. Let's try the phone app on both. That was the Epic Touch 4G. Let's do the market on both. They're both running off the same Wi-Fi network. I think that was the Epic Touch 4G. I couldn't tell, to be honest. Let's try contacts. That looked like a dead heat. Hard for me to tell. And then let's try Fandango. Third party. Again, I couldn't tell. Let's go to... here we go. Let's watch this trailer. So you can pull it up first and play it. And our winner is going to be Epic Touch 4G. Is a little bit quicker. It's the same thing we saw in the Quadrant Standard benchmark test, Smart Bench and Linpack Pro. Didn't blow the Photon away, but it was definitely quicker. All right, it's time for our gaming extravaganza. Do a little Raging Thunder 2. Do the castle course, and this is obviously the Motorola Photon. We'll start off with that. And again, I'm doing this either through a camera or around the camera, so. All right, there's a lap on our Photon. Let's take a look at the Epic Touch 4G, and we're off. All right, there's a lap on both. All right, what do you say we wrap up today's Pocket Now face-off between the Samsung Epic Touch 4G and the Motorola Photon 4G with our browser comparison. Kind of both running off the same Wi-Fi network. I've cleared the cache and history on both, and they are both fully enabled for Flash. So what do we kick this off? Let's head over to Engadget on both. Pretty sure that's downloaded on both of these. There it is, and we're off. And it looks like the Photon 4G is out in front. Boy, it's just cutting it up. Looks like it's going to be the Photon 4G unless the Epic Touch 4G comes back quick. Nope, Photon 4G. Epic Touch right behind it. You can see there's a big difference in the quality of the user experience on the Epic Touch 4G. It's just smooth as silk. And you can see the Photon 4G. Once you get it running, it's pretty smooth, but it's just not as smooth as the Epic Touch 4G. Let's double tap to zoom in so you can get a look at the difference in the QHD display versus a Super AMOLED Plus. You can get a good look there as far as pinch to zoom. They're both very sensitive. One thing you can do here is double tap to rewrap. Oh, and we get a dynamic rewrap on the Epic Touch 4G, which is very nice. It's not available on the Euro version of the Samsung Galaxy S2, so that's quite nice. All right, what do you say we head over to the mothership, and we're off. So round one was definitely a big win for the Photon 4G. Look at it, it's just tearing it up. And we ended up at the wrong version. Let's see if the Epic Touch can come back from that. All right, looks like they're about neck and neck, so the Epic Touch has really come back. Photon 4G is a little bit ahead. Again, we've got a lot of flash load over on the right hand side of the page here, and that's the delay. Wow, look at our Epic Touch 4G coming back up. Photon says it's done, but it really isn't. Boy, I don't know. I'm going to have to say that I think that was the Epic Touch 4G, and you can definitely see the difference in the user quality of the user experience. It's just so much smoother on the Epic Touch 4G. Let's double tap to zoom in on both, and you can see that the Photon 4G is not handling this near as well as the Epic Touch 4G. All right, so there's a little comparison, browser comparison between our two combatants today, the Samsung Epic Touch 4G and the Motorola Photon 4G. And I have to say, as far as a browser comparison, the Samsung Epic Touch 4G was our definite winner there. Really appreciate you stopping by to check out the face-off. Again, this is Craig for PocketNow.com. Don't forget to hang in there for our video comparison coming up next. Take care.